Okay, so I'm gonna assume that you're talking about, the ecosystem strategic partnerships between corporates and startups, right? To be honest, we cannot underemphasize, the importance of that play, because if you look at the scenery, if you look at the investment landscape now, it's not like there's no capital, but we're having heavy selection going on in terms of disbursement of investments. A lot of startups building amazing things are kind of like, struggling in terms of distribution as well as getting capital to expand. And the future of the ecosystem that I see, especially in the African space, is the strategic, partnership, which we call corporate innovation, where the startups leverage the size, the capacity, the capabilities, the infrastructure of these corporates, right, to expand their distribution. These corporates are looking for solutions to a lot of problems in terms of expansion, their reach, and all of that. And then on the other hand, we have startups that are moving super fast, startups that are innovating and growing and changing course in terms of their business models and product models super fast. So I do see like a very strong mutual benefit on both ends. It's a win-win situation where both parties can come together, right, and build the future of technology that we're looking at. The startups will scale because then they have the backing and infrastructure. The corporates would also scale in terms of their distribution as well, and then how quickly they access the market. So yeah, a typical example that I like to talk about is the Move and Uber partnership, right? You see how quickly Move has moved from 2019 till date, raising at almost $1 billion valuation within 4 years. That's amazing, right? And they have the backing of Uber. I think recently Uber just, there was an announcement that Uber was going to invest on $5 million in their round or in the business. And that just shows you the power of, the partnership, or what Move is building is actually great. It complements their strategic goal as a business, right? And then investing in them is like the next thing. So yeah. So there's the one of Max and Yamaha. There's that partnership where Yamaha provides bikes, right? Specific bikes based on specifications. So Max is supporting in terms of distribution out of the Asian region, right? More into the African region. And that kind of partnership kind of like solidifies the concept, the model that there's a possibility and it's a win-win situation for everyone. There's also MTN and Jumia. I know Jumia is not within our portfolio, but you know, these corporates would actually commit capital or resources, right, to companies for projects. And then the success of the projects will now, generate long-term strategic value for the business. That's for the corporate and as well as the startup. So within our portfolio, one major one is Max and Yamaha. I know that in the future we're going to have multiple and many more, because that's also one thing that Greenhouse is focused on in terms of our thesis, where we focus on not just investing, because venture capital is beyond only money, it's beyond the capital. It goes beyond to ensure that these portfolio companies that we're investing in, that they're thriving. And how do they thrive? By partnerships with the corporates and by ensuring that they're growing, they're scaling, and the solutions that they're building are actually incorporated by large organizations, and they also have the reach, right? So we're going to be focusing heavily on how we can promote these type of strategic partnerships with corporates within our network, even beyond, right? But I believe that starting within our network will definitely attract more corporates to buy into these ideas. So there's no limits to this. For now, we have Max, but then in the nearest future, we're looking at like 20 more partnerships. And then for us to actually excel in terms of these strategic partnerships, there needs to be that part of excellence, right? So excellence on the side of the startups, excellence on our side where we're connecting. And because we understand the bureaucracy that might run in some large corporations, we can understand how how sometimes they might not be as quick in terms of spinning out new products. So how can we leverage on some of these gaps, right, to design a process that's quite similar. So if we're going to look at attaching ourselves into or attaching these portfolio companies or startups into the corporates, there needs to also be the excellence, which is like an assignment that the startups also have to have. They need to exude excellence for this to actually work. Excellence in all ramifications. Excellence in every aspect, from communication to execution to reporting to documentation to implementation, integration, also being very agile and failing forward. So how quickly do we, get back up after maybe that particular solution did not work, or how quickly do we implement things, right? So we need to be super fast. And I'm saying we because in my head, we also represent the startups. So how quickly can we help them and support these startups to be excellent? Yeah, and that's leveraging our network and ensuring that, we also, as a VC firm, we push some of these conversations with the corporates to ensure that, we're leveraging the solutions that we have within the ecosystem, the entire tech ecosystem, to solve their problems.